Calling the Carroll Town Council June 3rd, 2026 meeting to order. Please rise and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, Treasurer, call the roll, please.
Council President Rector Heidi.
Here.
Council Vice President Mike Wolski.
Here.
Councilmember Josie Kirk.
Here.
Councilmember Ed Loud.
Here.
Councilmember Anna Here.
Okay, we have several items under the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions on any of the information they'd like to discuss? Several board reports. I know the planning director got three pages. If nobody has anything, I'll take a motion. Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any additional discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0, ayes have it. Citizen comments, Chief, if you'd like to, Willis, Buckley Township.
Sure.
Thank you, sir, for being here this evening.
Oh, I appreciate it, thank you. I wanted to kind of give you a quick couple updates on a few things and then also say thank you. First of all, we have recruit classes going to be starting. We're looking early July to be starting our recruit class. One of the things that we work with Ben on is access to the house that was above the Buck Creek Road to do some training on. So I've got our training chief to take a look at cleaning the house up a little bit. It's currently got some residents in it that have our guys around their circles, and they've left some presents. So we're working on going to get some of that remediated so that we can do some training within there. For the most part, it's going to be non-destructive training that will be within there. And unfortunately, we won't be able to do any burns within the facility just because of the conversations of looking to try and retain some of the drainage and some of the trees that are around there. We wouldn't be able to successfully do that and be able to keep that area intact that you're looking at. Just a couple other things for your information. Our annual report we put out for 2025, we had an 8% increase in run volume from last year, and it was a 13% increase from the previous year overall. So we're continuing to see a trend as Buck Creek Township grows and the fire department grows. And part of that, as I talked about our recruit class, we're bringing on 6 new positions into our fire department, so that'll be 2 people per shift that we'll be having. Our minimum staffing at Station 72, which is the one within Cumberland, is going to be 5. So our engine will be staffed full-time with 3 people, and our medic full-time with 2 people. So that brings our staffing level up overall, and also brings the staffing level up specifically within Cumberland as well. Aside from that, as you guys have seen occasionally, we had our fire marshal we brought on, he's been on for about a year and a half now, doing a lot of work for us, for the county side, Porterville side, and work with you guys as well. We also hired a training chief. We brought our training chief on board. He just came on a little over a month ago. Has been hitting the ground running. We've already been doing some warehouse training, some house training, and he's going to be driving the recruit class going forward. So with that, I just want to commend. The last thing I want to tell you is we took delivery today of a new ladder truck. The new ladder truck is going to be replacing our 1998 Pierce 100-foot platform. We've got probably about 4 weeks worth of work and training that we're going to be doing on that truck. And then once we get done with it, we'll be doing a celebration and a push-in ceremony. We'll get invitations out to you. We'd love to have you come out and kind of celebrate that. So that truck is at our fire station now. You're more than welcome to come take a look at it. We've got a stripe. Hoosier Fire on our Buck Creek page have also put up pictures and photos of it as we have gone through the process of that. Additionally, we have an engine that we have already purchased and is in the process of going through the phases. In August, we're going out and doing an inspection on the chassis. Expect delivery on it probably late year, early next year, with it going in service about probably 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks after that. So with all that being said, I know it's kind of a lot of information. We don't get in here a lot to see you guys. I do apologize. We end up with a lot of county meetings, and that fills our agendas pretty heavily on trying to keep track of things going on in the area. I wanted to open up and see if there are any questions that I can answer for you.
Will there be other departments that take place of training academy you're putting on here?
So there's conversation about that. My training chief has been very active with the other training chief from the other department, Sugar Creek, Vernon Township, and Greenfield. They do have some folks that they're looking at bringing on, so there is talk of making this a coordinated effort, bringing in some of their staff to walk into the class and making it a joint class. So yeah, there is a high potential for that. I don't know that there's a confirmation yet. We're still trying to work out some of the details.
And I know this is a silly question. I keep getting asked Vicki or come on the phone with her. What's up with the white engine that sits behind the fire station on one hundred?
So it's gone.
I was just curious.
Yeah. So there is a group that have bought that engine, and it's actually one of our staff. They're using that for kind of parades and presentations more than anything else.
Okay.
And so they had it there for a little while for storage. It's actually been moved out, and so it's not there anymore. But yeah, it was there for probably about 6 weeks that he had it stored there while they were working on another location.
No, it's not conditioned though or anything like that.
No,
I mean,
it's
that's
not.
the page.
Yeah, it's not an apparatus for us. It's just one of those used for something else.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anything else, fellow councilors? Chief, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you do.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Public comments. Anybody else have anything else they want to add or say? Please come on up, man. Tell us who you are and how happy to be here. And we're actually happy to have you here.
Hi, I am Jessie Llewellyn. I actually have done some work with Mickey and I've heard some things. I've left you, I think, a couple messages. The Atherton Homestead, which is what the chief is talking about using for training, is actually my great-great-grandfather's home. My great-grandmother grew up there, and my great-aunt and uncles who are still alive there in their mid-80s to early 90s. Actually remember playing in that house. I didn't know what your guys' plans for that house really were. I've tried for about 2 years to find out any information since I purchased it.
Got it. You want to address it if you want to, then?
Yeah, so it's really been in flux for several years now. The town had looked at potentially developing it into a site versus demoing it for parkland, things like
We were
that.
invited at one point, I think, to the house, the family was, and walked through it, and then it
That's
kind of fell
Yeah.
off, and no one knew what happened, so.
Kind of recently, we have felt like it's not viable for a meeting space and actually are getting quotes to potentially demolish it and look at doing that so that we can make it green space for the parkland, eventually put a playground and amenities there. So that's kind of what's on the docket or what's being evaluated right now. It would be post them doing some training exercises and things in there.
Is there any chance the family could potentially buy the site back and put on a historical list or anything along those lines? I don't think it's completely inhabitable. Like you said, I understand there's animal stuff inside of the truck, but it's still.
Yeah, it wouldn't be our recommendation to do that, because with our Parks Master Plan and stuff, it's been master planned into recreational space. We could work with Caitlin to set up a meeting, we could talk through some stuff, if we could do, but visit, or if we go to demo and want to salvage anything or take pieces
I
from
think
that.
there are family members that would like some things that are maybe they're slow there and salvageable. I think there are some older folks who would like some keepsakes. If they could get that, that'd be great.
Caitlin will get you her information if you don't have it, or set up something.
Okay, so we have family reunion the third weekend of July, so a lot of them come into town. There's a lot of us.
But we can definitely work with you on something and say they're training, when's your planned training, chief?
So we're looking to start the first week of July, it would be through the week. Again, there's some remediation before we looked at it. So yeah, through July, and hopefully through August, that's what we're trying to do.
So demolition probably won't happen until fall, so.
So we have a little bit of time.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just, you're kind of a family representation.
We had looked at
for
several things on it. Unfortunately, the setup of the house and what it would cost to bring it back to make it a municipal building is just too much. And the other issue that we had was the size of the floors. Once we would make them ADA compatible, we lost a lot of space there, and it just didn't make it feasible for us to really do it. We took quite a few looks at it. We had architectural people look at it to see if there was some way we could make it work. It's kind of a consensus, it just wasn't going to work.
We also did 2 other historic renovations, well, technically 3 here in downtown, that cost was fairly prohibitive by the time we went through that process, and we didn't even fully get those to a complete state demonstration now. So it would have probably a very steep price tag to move it into what we would need for a building with limited revenue returns for rentals and leases of space, things like that. Liability insurance.
Like I said, I'm here for the family and
Understand that.
nominated as the family geologist and historian, so here I am.
A lot of swimming value, I get that. Yeah.
And it's with a heavy heart that.
Yeah, we're very sad that we didn't try to get on it sold out of my family, oh gosh, after Daisy Atherton, when she passed away, my great grandmother was the estate holder, and she had it in the family for another 3 years, and it sold to another family, and then the land was sold off to some of the houses there, and then I think some to the city for the park, and I don't know how much of that you guys acquired from all of that, so it's kind of our fault, but just wanted to follow up and see where we were, because I know my great aunt, she's 94, she's the oldest one still alive, she's kind of, what's going on? Now I have an answer for her, so, okay. Yeah, I would love some time we could do a walkthrough for me and some older folks maybe and salvage whatever we can, that'd be great.
Are you related to Carla Literal?
I am. She would be my second cousin.
Used to work with her.
Okay.
Laura, we said hi.
Can you tell me your name?
I'm Jessie Llewellyn.
Jessie Llewellyn.
J-E-S-S.
Do you need a dress or anything else, or no?
How about you? What's your address?
6238 West 100 South, New Palestine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anybody else? All right. Next agenda item, staff reports, chief.
Wanted you all to be introduced to our newest and latest officer. Adam brought Officer Z back in.
This is Canine Officer Ziba. We just picked her up on last Wednesday. So she is fully certified in explosives and ballistics.
Bashful.
She's a little timid.
Checking the podium for Tom.
She wants to talk. You're sitting here.
She's had a couple shifts so far, so she's getting used to it.
She's really friendly too.
Yeah, I gotta get her some do not pet things.
Yeah.
But we just want to come and say hi.
Yeah, and then we plan on having a small retirement party for Micah on Friday during lunchtime, so you're welcome to come by if you'd like. Other than that, we're actively on the trails and in the parks during the day. We've got the guys signing up as needed to get on either their bikes or even the golf cart and going out there. We are seeing a lot of activity, which is nice in the parks, so during random times of the day, especially the nice days, so it's good to see that. Lots of complaints with these little, motor scooters, these kids are on there. We actually had a couple runs today, especially where they've been complaining a lot.
Email I sent you? Yeah.
Yeah, she came into the office, but I'm glad she's calling, because we can get them, if somebody calls what's happening, it's easier to get out there, so. But a lot of complaints on the trails for dogs on not on leashes and some other random things too, so, but so far everything's going pretty well though.
Thank you.
Some of the grant work is starting. Nikki's putting together some of the stuff from the Department of Health grant, and she's gonna continue to work on kind of the Quiet Street stuff. We should hear back on the big Lilly Endowment IEDC Arts Grant by somewhere in June through end of July. It's kind of the window the state plans on announcing that. That's about $1.3 million that we applied for, that's awarded for arts and restoration initiatives in downtown. The International City Managers Association contacted me, and they want to highlight the town of Cumberland and myself and the work we've done over the past 5 years at the national conference this year. So they're wanting to talk about some of the UCAT stuff and put together a video featurette on that, which is kind of unexpected. So it's cool that we're on their radar. But a lot of development stuff moving forward. The commission met. Have others waiting in queue to file, so they'll probably be continuing to meet going forward. So there's a lot going on.
All right. Thank you so much. Then we have some old business to go over. Consideration of cubic mold purchase.
Yes, this was tabled at your last meeting. We reached out to some local companies and just additional companies, just in general, to see what else we could get, that would fit the area and the back for the planning department. We come up with 7 options. We actually had one model that was quoted by 2 different companies. We finally got the one from LW on Monday, so I've included that in your packet, which is the same one as option 1. Arnold's quoted it for $21,603, and LW quoted the same thing for $34,966.20. The 3 options that will work best for what Christine's staff needs would be option 1, 2, or 4. Well, I guess 4, because it's the same thing as option 1. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, but we did reach out to a couple local, and which was one of them was the RDC Office Furniture, and they did decline to pursue or go with us.
Looks like there are 3 options. You guys prefer about $6,000. And it looks, and correct me if I'm wrong, I read through the paperwork, it looks like the main concern is, how many people are you going to move back into that area? I know it's 6 cubicles, is it going to be 6 people?
There's going to be
There's going to be 5, and then
Okay, yeah, sure.
1 being a workspace for now until we get the additional hire.
And I know the main issue was that everybody's on their phone, or everybody's doing the Teams meeting at the same time, so everything goes up, correct?
That's correct. There's 2 employees that currently share an office, and they cannot be on a meeting at the same time because they talk over each other and they can't hear.
Which I would agree with Christine, kind of takes us down to options 1, 2, and 4. You guys have any preferences? I'm leaning towards option 2. What do you guys think?
Or it's gonna be more expensive, you have to have electricity.
Right, so that's gonna jack that up, yeah. I know if it takes it up to the option one price, we'll probably be off the close. Yeah, I agree. Joe?
No preference.
Ann?
So it all includes stepping up,
Yes,
all of them, all
Yeah.
the options.
yes. I made sure that that was something, delivery and installation.
Does option two come with the electrician? Does it need electrical installed?
It does not.
It's already.
It's something, yeah, it's something that we do.
Okay,
It's
so,
not required, an electrician is not required to hardwire any of this into our system.
but the electrical outlets are in the cubicles and stuff and all, but okay, that's fine.
I mean, to me, what's gonna cost on option four, I think we're probably down to option one or two, you know, yes. Because I think Ed's right, once you have to do the electrical stuff, any equipment is probably gonna push it up pretty close to option one anyway. I'll make
Are
a
there
mo-
any kind of, warranties or anything on the used one compared to the new one?
They did not say if there was.
Andy, your preference?
So, option one and option two, the electrical is something we don't need to worry about.
Correct.
I guess I'm just one,
We just need a motion on one of the options.
I don't see doors on the sliding glass.
Yes, there's like this.
You know what, they have extra office, you can go there and sit. Okay, I'll start a motion, we'll go from there. I want to make a motion that we approve option two for purchase in the amount of $18,579.56 for 6 cubicles for the back area at Town Hall.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, Joe. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5 ayes have it. Thank you, Kate, appreciate it. Mr. Lips.
This ordinance is the financial policy ordinance that was introduced a few meetings back. There's been no changes to the policy since we went through them at the meeting. It's the same final version. Just asking you guys to consider adopting that policy in the code, so that we can have that in place moving into the budget cycle.
Okay, is there any questions? I know that Adam gave a good presentation last time on the entire packet, what was going to be in it. Is there any questions off of the ordinance that was introduced last time? Great, it's on that page, it's fairly short. Is there any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. 2026 actual sales.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any additional conversation? All those in favor signify please by saying aye. Opposed? 5 ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. I think you're up for number 2 on new business. Introduction to ordinance 2026-07, amending the 2026 salary ordinance.
This ordinance would make a couple of changes on the salary ordinance. Some of them are more clerical in nature, and then we updated the utility kind of structure for making it more clear who's making what, at what certification, your collections operator, your wastewater operators, We didn't have at that time really the maintenance staff considered in that, so they were kind of putting a spur peg in a round hole when we went to apply that, so we're fixing that. With those maintenance technician slots that you see on there, so that's, like I said, more fixing it to make sure that the job descriptions match salary ordinance, and we're not forcing somebody into the wrong class on the ordinance. The next change is a change that Erica asked for to create a clerk treasurer administrator, and in utility billing has stepped up and been doing a lot of extra work with Allison and Erica, taking on a lot more responsibilities than just a typical billing clerk within some accounting, payroll type items, other things. I know Allison and Erica probably speak endlessly to all the great things, but it would create that new position at 27 per hour. Erica and I did some market research on the job, and that fell within that range that we felt was appropriate. So, happy to answer any questions. This is for introduction only.
Market rates for those going for the positions that you upgraded just to make us more competitive?
For the new position,
Yes.
yeah, it put us in a competitive line. It's not gonna be like your north side pay, but it's gonna be competitive for the central ID market.
I know I talked to Eric a little bit about this a couple of weeks ago, and this was coming, and then I talked about the maintenance line. Do I have any questions on this? No. Ben, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's the only thing changing the salary ordinance is those two things, correct?
Yep, having those maintenance tiers in there and having a new position, so. CDL, here too, right? I should, yeah, add that in. We had like our maintenance position, but we also added that to where that could be CDL driver. So that's like a incentive pay, what did we?
It's an additional $4 per hour for entry level. And then for CDL, an additional 1,000 prorated payment will be issued over a 12-month period. It's section 7.
And for the CDL, depending on how, I guess for my equivalency, for my background, if we're paying for a specialty pay in the police department, like FTA pay or something like that.
That's right.
Makes sense.
So, and that $4 falls within the additional, like your existing class tiers. So it's really the main thing is that $1,000 per prorated OE3 cost. So, like they already have the flexibility in the current salary ordinance to do that $4 additional. This just clarifies to the employees and the council if they do that, they're getting an incentive for taking the time, putting that effort into that. They know what triggers what pay wise. That. Yes, I apologize about that. Slipped on.
Do they have any questions on what they covered? Yeah. Good. All right. All right, thanks.
And I know you have a couple additional items, but I wanted to remind you guys that we have John Harmony here for the work session to talk about the liability insurance items.
Okay. Appreciate that. No other new business?
Yes, sir.
Council comments? I know we talked on the phone, we actually texted him on the phone quite a bit today. I talked to Greg Sutherland about a week ago on the phone, and he was gonna be here this evening. Can you give us a little bit of an update? I'm not so quite worried about the Duck Creek house right now, because I'm gonna be trading with it, and we'll time on that. But especially the house in Cumberland Heights and the house in Cumberland Village.
Yep, we put out for quotes, people were non-responsive on the first round, a couple responded and said they couldn't get into their schedule right now, so we have out with a few others, and we think we'll have competitive quotes at your next agenda, so.
For each of those two houses?
That's right, so we're actually putting out for all three with the understanding that the Buck Creek house may be further down the line.
Absolutely.
There's no way of getting the bank to be responsible for that?
No, not really. Like the bank's fixed obligation, more is on the mortgage end, and they, from my understanding, have gotten their coverage done and pulled out, so it's more, the owner's liability.
So they got the insurance money.
My understanding, I think I can say this, listen, emails as I've seen, the owner on the house in Cumberland Village is like, I'm going to get an unreleased for this, I'm going to do this. Of course, their deadline went out May 15th, and said, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. I think we gotta move forward, and then just put a lien on the property.
Yeah, we can do that. I would be sending a letter to the bank. But that's just me. Like, hey, we collected that money and it was a loss and I don't know if they're obligated or not, but
Yeah, and some of that, obviously, we're not actually a party to,
I know.
we have to be careful.
So hopefully we'll have at least one bid. Greg, I talked to Ben today. We have to put it out for at least three people to bid on, correct, by law?
Yeah, for quotes, it has to go to at least 3, but we only have to get 1 responsive reply. We have it out to more than 3 now, so we're hoping to get more than 1, but if we have at least 1, we are able to present that to you.
Yeah, and like I said, both of them are way past the deadlines, and then they need to come down, so legally, that's a good standard. Okay. Any other additional comments from my fellow councilors?
Crosswalk sign corner using in Washington, southwest corner.
Yeah.
If somebody's tagged the base or something, shoot up the yank out there.
And it's been actually, they're working on it. There's, earlier today.
What's our police department do? You got vandalism going on by NDOT right there?
Get them see that.
What else I got?
Lions Park, is that still associated with the Lions Club? Change the name.
It's up to the parks board.
I kinda like to do something on our people that live in the area before. Probably do later, either through Carl or through
I noticed when they repaved Music, they didn't put our crosswalk back in.
They have temporary striping. It's a separate contract to come back to that.
Thank you so much, that will avoid a lot of phone calls when we get,
Yeah.
I got several now. Matter of fact, Ben and I were looking about Thanksgiving, we can paint the crosswalk ourselves, we didn't do that last time.
It was really to help Mike out, so it's
That's kind of your friend.
It's,
Okay. I haven't got any phone calls with him. Cause my voicemail will go over yours.
okay.
Anybody else, any other comments, Anna? We good?
We're good.
All right, Michael? I'm good. All right, future agenda items, I know the salary ordinance is coming back to us.
should have quote for the home demolition, some point. Lansing Wood South's not gone from plan commission, so they don't have anything they're setting by next meeting. I think it may be a more limited agenda, so I'll have to check with staff.
And also, if we were to close this thing out, I'd like to get a pulse again from my fellow councilors. We talked about this in sanitary, board. My intent, since it's so close to the holidays, is not to meet, for the first meeting in July, which I think is July 1st itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any heartburn if we would meet that July 1st meeting? Yeah, a lot of people are going to be gone, travel and things like that, so please get anything in order for the,
Next meeting.
June, yes, please.
Put a message out to staff.
Thank you so much. All right, I'll take a motion.
So move.
Second.
Okay, we're just going to immediately open up the work session. Open the work session for town council.
'John? Good luck. weeks ago. John, somebody had heard a lot about from other communities, being very proactive and managing kind of their liability insurance, taking a much more holistic approach, do a lot of, well, John, you can talk about your guys' approach to that, but, something been interested in something that's a little bit more holistic, in-depth, in detail, making sure our coverages are appropriate for everything's, you know, we talk about this every year, so, yeah, I won't take up much more time, I'll let John do it.
Perfect, thank you, appreciate the opportunity. John Farman with Epic Insurance, based out of Ranch Chevy Malibu, pretty much. 30-some thousand miles a year. So I work primarily in the municipal space. About 70% of my business is in what I call public entity type space, whether it's municipalities and schools. I shared a PowerPoint, right? So in your packet, I can go through every page, but I'm more of a discussion type of a person. But like Ben said, we have a different approach. I mean, it is, you know, we're not one to just show up and deliver renewal. There aren't a ton of markets in the municipal space. There are a handful, depending on the size. The smaller the municipality, actually the more markets that there are than compared to the larger markets. We believe in getting to know department heads, understanding what truly does go on inside the municipality. You folks are the ones who buy it. They use it, right? And so we try to understand what each department is going through, what's going on. Do you have the right schedules? Are the autos all there? Is the statement of values of what buildings you insure correct? Honestly, it is the simple things. It is the dot the i's, cross the t's. I'm astounded. I wrote a municipality, I don't know, 10 years ago with a consultant, and we bound the coverage, and 3 days later we watered up a police car that wasn't on schedule. I'm like, how did we miss that, you know, from a consultant? And so what we try to do is just make sure they're all there, go through all of that stuff. We work, and when you saw in here, I mean, there are, I'll just highlight a few different things. You know, it tells you a little bit about our practice, but this service, this page right here, you know, it just talks about the service approach, you know, and what we do there is, you know, department head meetings. We want to help you review contracts. If you do a builder's risk, you buy a new, you're going to build a new program, a new building or something, we'll help you through that. You're going to have something out to bid, and you need help with bid specs from an insurance perspective, we'll do that. We'll help you, you go hire somebody to fix a road culvert. You hire them, do you have the right subcontractor agreement? We help with those things. Cyber insurance is crazy today. AI is crazy today, crazier than I even understand, frankly. But we've been trying to, you know, go in to discuss those. OSHA compliance, those are a lot of the things that we will help with. And we believe in, I've got it, this wasn't.
Yep.
So this is something here that we have done. This is a sample. It has your name on it, but it is not your information because I don't have your information. Great. So what this does is this is something, we did this is real. We did this for a municipality of ours, and we went in and we decided, we looked at work comp claims. And the reason I want to show you this is that we look at the claims over a number of years, 5 years, 10 years, depends on how much information we can get, the more the better. And so we take that information and we put it together and we decide where are your claims coming from. Are they slips, trips, and falls? Are they strains? And we do the same thing on auto losses. Are they backing into something? Are they hitting animals? Can we control it? Can we not control it? What is that stuff? But from a work comp perspective, we go into that and we can tell you, must be a kid, because it's the only way to ring. We go through those to look at what are the training opportunities from the accidents that you have had. What months do they have? What days do they have? And that seems kind of weird, but those are real trends. And what we look at is, okay, if you, like in that one there, I think it was February, where they had an increase of claims. Well, should we train more in January for things? Probably so. So those are the types of things that we do. The markets are, I can talk about our marketing strategy. So we take all that information. I'm a storyteller. And so I take all that information that we gain from the losses that you've had from the past. We talk about what your training is. We talk about your manual, your handbook. We talk about, is the municipality growing? Is it not growing? What is going on? Are we adding police? What are we doing, right? We take all that together and tell a story to our municipality markets, and then take it to market, and then we share a spreadsheet with you that shows you who's the best. I don't love one over the other, I represent them all. And then, lowest price isn't always best, right? What's the right coverage? And so we go through that, we shop the cyber every year, crime discussions, but again, this is what we're doing. We have a complete team. We just hired a young man who came from the town of Plainfield. I was going to bring him with me tonight. He's in licensing school. So he brings an interesting twist to us because he comes from your side. So I always say your side fascinates me from the things that you can and can't do. And so he brings an interesting twist that he's part of our team, and then we have 4 specialized service folks inside of our team. And then we have a whole claims advocacy group. And I have one claim rep that works with me solely and handles a number of other municipalities. So that's a fast commercial, because I know everybody wants to talk about insurance, especially in the meeting. But we'd love to have your business. Again, we want to meet department heads. We want to understand that I have other municipalities that department heads just call me. We talk about different things, and then if they've got a problem or whatever, we want to become one of you. We're an extension of you. So, what questions can I ask? Answer, not ask, answer. What do you want to know?
Sean, can you talk a little bit about how you approach a calendar year cycle and how you do some of that site mapping and those things?
So in there where it says service timeline, you should know these. Oh, it is, page 12. Yeah, how about that? So this is a service timeline. Okay, so I'll run you through this. And we're just going to assume for illustration purposes that it's a January 1st renewal. Okay, I think yours is different than that, but this will just show you. So what we do is your renewal date's in January. So this just tells you everything that we're going to do. So in Xywave training, so Xywave is an online risk management portal that we have. It's nothing's free, it's included. But it's ours, it's Ethics. You will have access to that. We will do an onboarding for you, for Ben, for whoever, and all the department heads to understand how you can use that for your training tools. We do claims reviews. We have those scheduled throughout the year. I don't know anything about your loss history. Some of our largest municipalities, we're doing quarterly reviews. Some of our not, we're doing them 3 times a year. Some we're doing 2 times a year. We tailor it to what is needed. Then we do claim, like you said here, it shows you where the claims reviews are. And then the renewal process. So if it's a January renewal, we're starting on those in September. What's interesting is I'm already having conversations with my carriers about what are you seeing in the marketplace. Now, we do that to see if they're telling us the truth, because we have a complete benchmarking, and we know where the market is trending and where it isn't. So January's, I will actually start having conversations with my carriers in July and August. What are you thinking for January? Then we start in September, we gather all the applications, we work on the schedules, we do all the fun stuff, and we get it out to market. And then our goal is to try to have you everything 30 days before the renewal to make sure it works around your meetings. I should have looked, I don't know if you meet once or twice a month, but it doesn't really matter. We try to make it twice a month. Okay, so then what we try to do is make sure that we fit your time schedule. I don't like last minute, it drives me crazy. I get severely grouchy, because that's
We
when.
can relate there.
Yeah. That's when mistakes are made, right? But I believe in having a timeline and laid out, it's a report card. It's not stringent, but it is a recommendation. We decide we're gonna do claim reviews twice a year, and I get monthly claims reviews, our team does, loss runs. And if we see claim activity, and let's say there's a bunch of claims in January and February, and we were gonna have a claim review till July. Okay, well, we're probably gonna be reaching out and saying, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's talk in March, or right now, or, whatever. I mean, so, but we believe in setting up a timeline so that we can work and be proactive. You can't write an insurance policy today and leave and come back a year from now to frankly collect a check to deliver a renewal. That's not how we roll. What else?
That's good. Like, I know it's not the most exciting subject, but how they approach with the calendar timeline and some of the mapping of the assets and hands-on work would really be a breath of fresh air from the department head administration side. We would definitely like the assistance on some of the renewals. And, like I said, been very impressed with how they schedule things out, how they're proactive with the workers' comp loss and the training and all those items.
You go through and look at driving requirements, MVRs, a bunch of, how are you doing things? I mean, we'll take a look under the hood. I'm not Hector the inspector. We'll make some recommendations, and I'm a realist too. You're not gonna know all this at once. I mean,
John and I also talk about department training, making sure, like you said, OSHA compliance, making sure those training schedules are in place for every single department, like public works, utilities, everybody has, so they're required annual training, all those type of things. So a lot more proactive approach to liability.
our municipals from the size of 400 people to 250,000 maybe, I don't know, something like that. Happy to provide some references, I think Ben knows some of them, so, what else?
Can you keep cars from hitting streetlights?
I can't keep them in streetlights, I can't keep them backing into things, I can't, but, and uninsured motorists hitting streetlights, I've got one of those going on right now. And ran out of the phone. A nice debate with Allstate today. Debate.
What's our proposed next steps here? We're putting a proposal together on what they would be willing to do. I guess what's going to be our takeaway from this?
Just look to get a consensus from you guys with the brokerage, and you just basically assign your brokerage to the individual, and they would shop rates. Cost is actually basically the same in talking to John as what currently we are at with brokerage, so it's more of approach versus cost.
So I can speak a little bit to that too, so when is your renewal date? I do not.
We're your April renewal.
Okay, so, what you could do is, you could select us to be the broker, take over your current program. And what we would do is take that over, we would analyze it, come up with, is it right, is it wrong, all that stuff. And then you would actually market it next April. We could market it midterm. You won't get the best look from carriers, they don't like it. They always, unless there's just glaring huge issues, they just don't like it. They like to stay on the renewal date. It just breeds inconsistency, I guess. So what we would do is you would assign us to be the broker, we would go through the coverage, and then next year we would take it to a market. We would service it.
That's kind of what staff would be recommending and wanting to do. That way we get in the door, start evaluating all our coverages and make sure that we're in an appropriate space for next year's renewal.
We obviously can't make a decision in a work session.
Correct.
I can't speak for everybody here, but personally, what I would like to see is a memo that lays out pros and cons of what we're currently doing, how this would be an improvement, and why. I think we get a little more educated on the city side as to why we do it.
Yep, can do that for next meeting.
Is that appealing to anybody else? That's kind of what I did consensus on the fellow councilors, make sure, but, yeah, before we make a move, I think we need to know why are we doing that.
And do that.
You know why, I mean, you just kind of, come back on that sketch.
I have some cards, but Ben has my contact information too. Welcome to share it. My cell phone number is on there. As you can tell, it rings. So, just, if you have questions, please call me. You can send me an email, whatever I can answer. Like I said, I'm open, book, transparent. I've got nothing to hide. I have so.
Jeff, thanks for coming to spend time with Steve, we appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
Oh, John, I'm sorry. I said Jeff, didn't I? Sorry.
You did.
That's okay.
I've been called worse.
You know, it's always good to have you.
Yeah.
Any other business for the work session?
No, sir.
All right, I'll take a motion.
Move.
Have a great evening, folks.